I was thinking about going to school, I just wanted to learn to paint. Just being stuck in a class where you're painting and drawing and doing creative projects, like that kind of didn't exist at any point up until then. Before that, I kind of didn't really even know what I was going to get into in life. It was good. It kind of kept me out of trouble, kept me focused, and I lucked out in finding SVA. Yeah, I think I've always been interested in art since I was little. I never was really inclined in academics, and art was something I went and focused on, even not knowing that that could be a profession. I was born in '74. I kind of missed subway graffiti. I was on the second wave of early '90s graph. I mean, that's one of the things that kind of intrigued me about graffiti, is that it's not like any other art form. I mean, there was sort of a global community, and you could meet kids and their work and they know your work, and it's like instant family. Mostly through skating, I'd come into the city, and I was skating since I could remember. I think the proximity to Manhattan and just having that as an option to come in and explore Manhattan just because it was a giant playground. I started doing the phone booths and that sort of stuff at the sort of end of my schooling, and I remember being in class and I would have phone booths with me. Keith was definitely an artist, I think, for me to see somebody who's working in a graphic sensibility, transitioning into galleries, but still making accessible products. I've never wanted to be stuck looking at one kind of artist. I've always looked at everything I could look at, taking what I can from each bit. One of my first jobs out of school was working in animation, and I started using all that animation paint, and it was sort of a number system. And then later, I just incorporated it into my painting. The one thing about SVA is that it's geared towards jobs in the arts, so there's actual real work put in, I think, in the classes. The good thing about going to an art school is that there's people who are there every day to answer your questions. A lot of the teachers are from the field. So it doesn't hurt to be a young kid getting advice that's not biased. And as a kid, you might not realize that, but when you get into the real world, you don't find that many people have that much time to answer things. You learn a lot from people. That's the key thing. And art's something that's hard to define. It's one thing I actually try to stay away from, is defining exactly what I am. I've always felt that it's best for myself to sort of stay very open-minded and flexible and just sort of get into my interest. I just want stuff that makes me want to wake up, and things that I feel good about making, whether it's, doing a museum show or doing a figure. They all have their sort of purpose and ways of existing.